stopping the QB from scrambling and extending plays.
Yeah, obviously for us on offense, just bouncing back from what just happened against Boise, and then obviously a tough one against Washington State. Just make it so that there's not a bunch of pressure on the defense, and offense can handle the game, so they're not trying to stay off the field the whole game.
Bryce, you faced other dual threat quarterbacks. Does this represent anything that the others do?
I feel like a dual threat quarterback is kind of one label. They all do the same thing. They can extend plays and they can make things happen with their legs. And, it comes down to containing the box and getting them down first touch.
When you guys have a game like that, it just seems to get out of control a little bit early. What do you learn from just a game where really nothing really goes your way?
Yeah, something that Coach Lou was, harping on the team meeting when we got back was just having to respond to that the right way. We faced a lot of adversity right away in that first quarter, and I think everyone would agree that we didn't respond the way we need to and the way we have in other games previous to Boise State. So just continuing to develop that identity and that mindset is just no matter what happens, we're at Boise. It's a tough first quarter. You got to respond the right way, and we got 4 games in front of us now that how are we going to respond to? That's probably our worst game so far this season. So how are we going to respond to that and try and steal 4 more out of the next 4?
What happened? Not sliding. Why'd you get ambushed so bad so early?
I feel like as a team, we didn't show up as a defense. I say as a defense, we didn't show up to play. We didn't show up getting lined up in the small things. Really just the basics. Come down to the basics and doing the right things. The little things right every time.
A few free runners in the secondary, especially early on. Is that a communication thing you guys need to clean up?
What did you say? What was the question?
A few free runners in the secondary early on, especially some wide open receivers for down the seam. Communication thing?
Definitely communication. Communication is key.
How do you guys clean that up?
Really just practicing and doing it in practice, overly talking. Because, when you're under the lights and under 40,000, you can't hear nothing.
Michael, this is such a different offense, and you had to cram a lot of information with a new offense and a freshman quarterback. What's the learning curve been like to get this thing to become consistent and to dominate drives?
Yeah, well, I guess for me personally, I was in this offense last year with Coach Lou at Colorado, so we've definitely been doing a lot more, some different stuff with the tight end. So I guess for me, that would be the learning curve that you're talking about. And so for me personally, it's just been continuing to take strides forward and work with Jude and Coach Lindley, just continue to be a dominant tight end room. And then I guess for the team, I'd hope in week 8, 9, and 10, we're not dealing with a serious learning curve anymore. I think we want to have an identity established at this point in the season, which I think, like what you said, there is still some stuff that has to develop. But at the same time, the last game doesn't show, but I think we do still feel good about where we are as an offense. That one game doesn't define us, and we still think we got a lot of good stuff to show you guys moving forward through the next 4. So, yeah.
And what's it been like to play with Danny and to see a freshman quarterback this young in this much live fire action? What can you talk about the role and just about his approach to deal with the good and the bad?
Yeah, like you said, he's a freshman. This is his first time going against a bunch of other grown men. He's an 18-year-old, so I think he's handled it wonderfully. He's done a great job at stepping into that role week 1 and really being a leader for us. Sometimes I just think to myself, he doesn't really act like a freshman. He acts like he's been in this role for a while. So he's done a great job, and obviously we got to pick him up after some of the stuff that happened against Boise, and that's part of just outside being a freshman. That's just the role when you're a quarterback. A lot of it's gonna weigh on you. So as an offense, just picking him up and making it feel like he's not wearing the weight of the entire offense when things don't go our way. So he's done a great job.
Last game at Snapdragon, saw a lot of sand kicked up. What were the challenges of the field conditions for a player on the field?
It's challenging. I say as a DB, it's very challenging, but it's something that we played on for a few weeks now, so it has to be an advantage for us at this point.
Was it getting traction and being able to go to the ball, or what exactly was the difficulty?
Getting traction, mainly.
And could that possibly be to your advantage this week since New Mexico hasn't been in conditions like that?
Yeah, definitely, because we know what we're going into. We know what we have to do, and so planning off one foot, you know it's going to be slippery, so you got to plan off that right foot. And as an offense, they're not going to be ready for it.
What kind of equipment changes, if any, have you guys made?
I switched to screw-ins last week, and our equipment guy did a good job at making a smooth transition from warm-ups right into the game, just having everything we need. So I guess that just goes out to our EQ team doing a good job and making sure if we need to make changes on the fly, we could do that. So after that, I didn't really notice it too much. So hopefully the same thing this weekend.
Bryce, you're a very physical player on defense. How important will it be on a short week and coming off a loss to stop an offense like this and maintain that physicality?
Main thing, stop the run and force them to pass because, I feel like our strength is the pass game. We have a lot of good DBs, so playing our technique and stopping the run and then making them pass the ball down the field.
Coach talked a lot about how much he loves football. So I'll ask you guys the same thing. I'm just starting with Bryce and then Mike. How much do you love football and just being around it where you're immersed in it, just being able to live that lifestyle?
I can't see I've been playing football for about 17, 18 years, so I can't see no different. It's my life. It's everything, so I can't see myself without it.
Yeah, I haven't been playing it as long as he has, but I really do love playing football. Obviously I'm a senior, so I've been thinking, trying to really embrace these last couple games with this team and really reflecting on the last 5 years. So, I definitely do love football, and, Coach Lou loves football. That's why I followed him here, so.
Can you talk about his speeches? Because his speeches to us have been kind of unique. What's his speeches like to the players?
It's motivating. It's a motivator for sure. Makes you want to run through a wall.
Yeah. No, he knows how to talk to us. It's kind of hard to summarize it. I can't really summarize them for you guys, but he knows what we need to hear when we need to hear it. It's not the same every single time. So every time he speaks to us, it's something new, and it pertains to what's in front of us right then. Like the same with the speech we got at halftime or pregame or postgame against Boise was not the same that we got against Washington State. So I think it shows just as a leader, he knows what his players need to hear when they need to hear it. So.
Coach Lou says you can't really watch a game as a fan. He's always analyzing what's going on. Can you guys watch as a fan? Like if there's a Hail Mary, can you enjoy that moment? Or are you guys also watching it from the intricacies of the game?
You talking about as like me on the sideline watching them?
No, if you're watching a game on TV or something, can you watch it like a fan? Or are you guys always looking at the other aspects of the game like a player or a coach?
It depends on if it's competition, if it's the team that we're going to play or if it's like just a team we're watching. So it just depends.
Bryce, can you talk about the defense? Because it's been valiant. It's been much more athletic than we've probably seen around here in a long time. Did you think you'd be this good on that side of the football right from the get-go? Because you really kind of carry the flag.
I feel like it's a thing where you just come in and you show up with the mindset to work, and coming in with a great group of DBs, with a great group of linebackers. We got some transfers, but I feel like everybody's on the same page and we have good chemistry, and when everybody does things right and we communicate and we're on point, we're pretty good as a whole.
Could you please just both take us through the process after a loss like that and then getting prepared? What's the mindset afterwards? What do you do? And then how do you apply that to the task at hand for the next guy up?
First off, we got to double down. Like the loss we took, we fought hard to the end, but like the next day, that Sunday, Saturday practice, we got to double down. We got to go even harder and go harder in practice and work on the small things that we didn't do in the game.
Yeah, I guess for me, just flush it. Obviously, we're going to watch the tape and, like what he said, learn from it right away. And try to minimize making the same mistake over and over again, which that's going to happen. So flush it and then move on and immediately just focus on how we're going to capitalize against our next opponent this weekend. So.